Thank you very much, viewers and listeners. Welcome to Studio 84. This is Off the Record, and I'm your host, Solomon Tumwesigye, for this episode. And Off the Record is, one of the shows here at Studio 84. Studio 84 is a podcast studio in Bugolobi along Lithuli Avenue, and it's a space, put together to empower people and organizations tell their stories and along the way position themselves as authorities at whatever they do. For we believe that everyone is an authority at something. And today, I have the pleasure and the privilege to host a man that wears many hats, like many of my guests. Very interesting guy. I've known him for about a year in a business space called BNI. But he is, he's a mechanic. He's a businessman. He's a rally driver, former national champion. He's a former MP. He's a politician. He's an accountant. Hey, Baker, please introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you, Baker Kaddu, and I think you have spoken who I am. I carry so many. I do so many things, and I carry so many things in my head. I'm an accountant. I'm a rally driver. I'm a mechanic. So many, as you have said. So I'm glad to be here, and thank you very much to host me.
So, Baker, where do we start your story from? How did you end up in the garage?
Yeah, I was born at a certain time T.
Baker, you don't want to reveal your age.
No, I can. I was born, yes, a certain time T in that place X.
Yes.
Near Martin Road.
Near Martin Road.
I self-made woman.
Yes.
Yes, and a single mother.
And a single mother.
Yes.
You're raised by a single mother.
I was raised by a single mother, but that mother was a very hardworking woman. Very, very hardworking.
What was her work?
She used to work in the bank.
In the bank.
She also has a very long story, but I'll cut it short.
Yes.
Because it will take us a day. She used to work at the bank. It was called Cooperative Bank.
Yes, I remember Cooperative
Yes,
Bank.
and doing side hustles.
Did she work in Cooperative Bank until it was closed?
Yeah. No. She resigned because of work.
Okay.
So, by the time we were together with the mother, I was around, and by the way, I was even a step to her success. How? It was in 80s, mid 80s.
Yes.
We used to stone flats. So we were at the top of the flat. So I think I saw thugs. We are 3 people. They had stolen some good money and they were hiding it somewhere. After hiding the money, they went away. So we went 3 of us. We removed that money.
Oh, no. How old were you back?
Like 7 years.
Okay.
Now, what we did is, we asked all of us that, can we eat this money, all of it? So we went to eat samosas, but even we did nothing to that money.
Did you count how much money it was?
No, I cannot imagine because I was young. Then the next step was, there was someone who was driving a mini car. So I confronted him and asked him, how much are you selling this car? He asked me, what? I told him, how much are you selling this car? Then he told me, was it 150? So I carried all that money and gave it to him. Then this man sensed that there was something wrong. So he got that money with me and brought it to my mother. This boy.
Where does he get this kind of money from?
Yes, he has stolen it from you.
Yes.
So my mother.
Oh, yes. That was his concern.
Yes. So, since my mother she was a sharp lady, she said, oh, yes, it is my money. She has stolen it, but even he has not even caught or possessed that kind of money.
Yes.
So they gave her the money and used it for business. Now I was at the age of, that was my first step to her success.
Yes.
Then around 93, there was this Premier Lottery.
I remember.
Premier Lottery. I was with her. We went for the draw. She didn't win, but me, I won 10 million shillings. I scratched and won 10 million shillings. So then we went to Sodil. We met in person. He was telling us, let me give you money and car and part, and the balance I give you money. My mother refused. She said,
Said, we want money,
we
we shall
want
get
10
money.
million. We don't want the car. So we were given that 10. So adding on in 80s, I gave him some money that we stole from, we got from those thugs.
Yes.
Then I added this 10 million shillings. So she prospered in the business. So when I was thinking my P5, I remember having like 2 taxis at home. They were called Dudu. Those Dudu small cars. So they used to work from Taxi Park to Kasubi, Nankulabi. Then in holidays, you could ask me, please, these people are cheating us. Why don't you go and sit in those cars? Because I know you sharp, you can count money.
Yes.
So each car I used to sit in, things were different. If these people were bringing like one, maybe 10,000, for us we could raise like 15 or 18. So it made a difference. And that's where even I learned how to drive. By P6, because I could push those cars, in the taxi park, they are behind. You push it in front. As the others,
around 12 years old, yes.
when others are loading, you push it in front. You shift, you shift until you reach the stage and you load the passengers. So we were together. Then we progressed. She opened up a coffee factory in Mukono, and she moved. She opened up in Mukono, and business was moving well. In Mukono, we used to buy coffee, sell again, and those days things were flowing. But I think we worked in that thing for 3 years. Then she passed on. She got a stroke and passed on.
How old were you, Baker?
I was in P7.
Wow.
But she just left me in the middle of things. I was
You're still living in Old Kampala.
still living in Old Kampala. I don't know my father.
You've never met him.
Yeah, no, I had met him, but long time ago. These are
Yes.
people who separated.
Yes.
And she had become so rich so that
Yes.
she could not even look for him because she could manage the school fees. She could manage each and everything. So
Were you the only child, Baker?
I was the only child.
Okay.
So everyone was asking me, and from that story, there is something to learn. This is a woman who was well established, but around people. Those days, you were the only man standing. They say one-eyed man. One-eyed man is the king of the blind.
Yes.
Yes. So she was the only person standing, and others could not even manage. Could not manage
Yes.
what was in her shoes. So that was the story. So now we ended up missing out all the things.
Yes.
Now the coffee factory. These are people who were housewives, who were what? So now they came in her shoes. And me, I was young. Planning for me. Now what are we going to do?
These are her
Aunties,
sisters?
her
Yes, your
sisters,
aunties,
yes.
yes.
After?
Did you now move from Old Kampala to their homes?
No. By that time, she had built a house near Mengo, behind Mengo Secondary School.
Okay.
She had built a house there. So that's where we used to stay.
Baker, so how do you I should have asked maybe, were you an accountant first or a mechanic first?
A mechanic first.
So now you're staying with your aunties.
I was staying with my aunties now. Now I was coming from school. I met my brother. You Baker, because even him, he had taken so many years without seeing me. You Baker? I said, yes. I think by that time I was in.
So he's an older brother,
but
from a different mother.
Yes.
Yes.
But the same father.
Yes.
Yes. You are Baker? Yes. I heard that your mother died. What are you doing? Where do you stay? So I moved with him where we used to stay.
You showed him where you stayed.
Yes. He saw my aunties, my grandmother. Then he told them, okay. But he told them now, the way you're handling things, why don't you give me this boy? Jaja, you go back to the village. Auntie, you go back. We get tenants
For this house, I take care of the
yes,
boy.
I take care of the boy. So they had refused.
That's what. Hey, okay.
In the first place, but they accepted. So now, but also him, he was a very confident man. You know, he was a man in a one-roomed house with a wife and 2 kids.
Yes.
So he brought me to the same house, very confident. And by that time, my mother had left some good money. Oh, some money, but which we have been using. You know, we had sold the cars, but we have been using, and a little was remaining. So he also asked for that money. Give it to me. Me, I'll see how we shall
survive in this city.
They gave him the money, and what he did, he added some small money. He was working somewhere in Kiseka, so he opened his
own shop.
Now he told me, now we have to work in this shop. That's where the drama.
That's how you started.
That's how I started that drama of, and in Kiseka, you know, Kiseka, there were so many things I saw in Kiseka. By the time I entered Kiseka, the people had a lot of money. Few people dealing in spare parts with a lot of money.
Baker, you're still in school.
Yes. Now I'm in Kiseka part-time. I entered Kiseka, and people even forgetting that me, I'm a young child. Because people were excited. You know, this village, is it called urban excitement?
Yes.
Yes, those are people who came. They didn't think even they can get 10,000 a day. Now they are getting 500,000
a day.
A day. They have like 5 women.
Okay, Baker. I am going to fast forward this story because we've used half our time already.
Hey. My God.
Baker.
Because I have a very long story.
What inspired you, or what drove you to stay in school when you have access to that kind of money at that age?
I won't tell you. I think it was God.
Okay.
Even first and foremost, it was my performance.
Yes. You were excelling in school.
Yes.
So it encouraged you to stay in school.
It encouraged me because I was going to that story. Because I went in my S4 vacation. I went to Japan. Not knowing that I'm coming back.
What took you to Japan in S4 vac?
Now, working in Kiseka with all that drama, there is a certain gentleman. He used to work in URA. He saw me. He told me, when you were in S4 vacation, I want to move with you.
So this guy is coming to your shop to buy spares.
No,
He's a young man.
We are related somehow.
Okay, you're related
and he was
somehow.
getting the secret that spare parts by that time we used to make a lot of money.
So in S4 vac, he's going to Japan?
Yes. So I finished my exams, and fortunately, he was around. Asked me, have you finished this? We had finished the exams. So he told me, do you have a passport? No. Passport size photos? No. Go Kampala Road, take passport photos. Come and we go and give me those passport photos. So I gave them to him. And then we moved to Japan. And I remember he told me, and that was a very interesting story. He told me that we are moving the following day. We were leaving here at 3. I reached the airport at 7 in the morning. So when this man woke up to call me, hello, are you set? I told him,
I'm at the airport.
And even that one is a very interesting story. So when we went from here to Nairobi, now from Nairobi, we are moving to Dubai. And this is a man who told me that now, you see all the things they are eating inside, you have to pay. If you don't have money, please don't eat. So he was teasing me somehow. You know, moving from Nairobi to Dubai, I didn't eat anything.
So you took Kenya Airways?
Yes, we took Kenya Airways.
Yes, I think. I don't think we had Emirates by then and all those.
Yeah, Emirates, I think. Yeah, we took Kenya Airways and a certain up to Thailand, Bangkok, and a certain airline up to Tokyo.
Yes.
We went
to Japan.
Yes, but now, you know, moving, I didn't eat anything. And they can see that this person has not been eating. So they thought
They
that
kept coming
yes,
to you.
I'm putting something in my stomach. Maybe I'm carrying opium. So reaching Dubai,
They said, let's scan you.
let's go in the scan. Why didn't you eat? I told them, they told me things in the aeroplane.
For buying.
Buying, and I didn't have enough money.
Were you with him?
Yes, and we was just laughing. And because, they couldn't even believe the story. They have to first check me to see whether I was carrying opium. Then now from Dubai, I say now I have to compensate. I think I ate 3 plates of it because I had to compensate until we reached. And when we reached, my dear, we reached, Japan was still a virgin. So many people in Dubai, in Japan, and things were very many. But I said, let me try my level best.
How long did you stay in Japan?
I stayed there for 3 months.
Throughout your S4 vacation?
Yes. No, 4 months. Because after we loaded the first container, then we are loading the second container. Then I asked this man, I've been working for you. And we have got the things. How much money are you going to pay me? He told me, how much money do you want? Then I told him, no, what you are going to do, you're going to buy for me a car. I already know where it is, so let's move there and you buy for me that car. He said, okay. We went and bought it around $280. Wow. It was ST190. We shipped it, and when we were loading the second container, it was the first thing I put inside in the container. Then we loaded the container, and then he told us, on Monday, we are going back to Kampala.
Baker, you still have this ST190?
No. But I liked that. I loved that car so much.
Did you ever go back to Japan after?
Yes.
So you returned to go to A level?
Yes. And I was coming. Oh, are we time bad?
No. Go on. You tell me one time. You tell me one time.
Now, he told me now we are going back. I was telling you, told me that following Monday we are going back to Uganda.
Yeah.
Then I was sleeping and asking myself now, people are praying to come here. Then this person is telling me to leave here and go back to Kampala. No. I should not go back. Then he asked, Monday reached. He was setting up the things. Me, I'm not setting up my things. What's up? I told him, now, what am I going to do there? Let me first stay here when my examination are out.
I'll come back here.
I'll come back. Yes.
The results are.
But me knowing I'm not coming back. Because even I had got friends. I had got even another family, which family already exists up to now. There used to be a man, Mr. Shong. He was a very good friend of mine. Even I thought, no, don't go back. This is a man who could speak some small English. He used to tell me, but you people, I've been seeing. Can you try to describe for me Africa? Because you are the people who come here, take scrap. No one buys something that is sense, that has sense. All of you black people I see, you just come here and take scrap. Don't buy new things, you buy old things, dirty things, things on the dustbin, the things you take in Africa. Next time you go to Africa, please take a picture and give it to me. When you come back, you show me how Africa is structured. Because I don't think you people have sense. You used to wonder. So I remained in Japan with Mr. Shong. He told me, you come and work at the farm. I was driving the tractor. I learned.
What was he growing at the farm?
Wheat.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was growing that tractor and even had poultry. Yes, farm for poultry. Yes. So
yes,
I was,
wheat feeds into
yes, poultry. Yes. So I was driving the tractor, and I stayed with him. Then, after mobile phones they were not so common.
Not so common.
So I had the call from my brother. My brother called me, and after calling me,
the brother who you were working for in Sekamarket. Yes.
He told me, now, do you know that you are among the best in Uganda in your S4 exams? I told him, what? Yes. you were among the best. So now it was a very tight decision. Here there is money, and
in school.
Yeah, and in school I have
I'm
excelled.
excelling, yes.
Then, you know, I've been having so many things in my head, and you used to take the right decision. That brings me back. There used to be an athletic competition where I was brought to support a certain team. So after supporting that team, they gave me, I think, like 10,000 to support that team. I had come from outside. You know, I knew how to run, but it was running the field like 15 times. So I ran and I'd left those people. They were far behind. But the trouser they gave me could not fit me.
Yeah.
It was a bit big. So I had used a banana fiber to tie it this side and again to tie it this side, on both sides. So, you know, as I kept on running, the banana fiber on this side broke, even though, so I could run while holding
the pants.
the pants. Now, you know, you cannot run while holding the pants. So these people behind, they were passing me. So the person who was number second passed me. The one who was number third also passed me. So I had people screaming in the background, Baker, tempale gwe. Tempale gwe. Mpale jiveeko. Jite. So it was a very tight decision. And you know those days, didn't you put on pants? Underwears. So I was just putting on.
No!
So it was a very tight decision. So I said, now what am I going to do? So I just, not even kujita, I just removed the pants.
And ran naked
and won those people. So it was a very tight decision. Coming back to that story, it was a tight decision, but I chose to come back to Uganda. Leaving alone all the treasure life, the money, the employment, everything in Japan. I said no.
So you came back to go to school?
I came back to go to school.
Baker, I have to ask, your stories are endless. Why did you not now you're back in school? I know you continued with the whole mechanic Japan life spare parts. Why didn't you study engineering, mechanical engineering? Why accounts?
Yeah, I'm coming there. Now, when I came, they gave me PCM Econ. That is the combination I did in my HSC, and which I passed. But in my senior 6, senior 5, now, you know, I had been exposed to Japan. Coming back, now I have a car. And when I came back, I came with some things. I came back when I was living there. I bought 2 cars. And, you know, those time fuel pumps were selling a lot. So I bought like 250 pieces of fuel pumps.
Wow.
Put them in the car. I bought a Sahara and a station wagon.
In the container and brought
Yes.
back.
Container, it was for my friend. Then came back. You know, I could not concentrate in my senior 5.
Baker, why fuel pumps?
You know, that by that time, you know, when you're in the shop, at least if you have like 10 people, customers that have come at the shop, 3 of them
are looking for fuel pumps for their cars.
Yes.
Okay.
Because cars of those days, it was the major problem.
Also, I think the fuel was not very clean,
yes,
so they
fuel
used
pumps.
to get spoiled.
So me, I say, no, let me carry fuel pumps. So I came back here. I found when my car is out, I drove it like for 2 weeks. Now I had a friend of mine, you know, he's a cousin, not even a friend. I used to be telling him, me, I'll do this. I'll say, you man, this is Africa. You are just dreaming. Didn't you hear this like a Dube man? He was saying us born to suffer. So what you are saying, those are, you are just dreaming. Because I used to tell him, one day I'll be going to Japan, but even not knowing. One day I'll be driving. So I called him. I told him, now you are saying that Africa, we are born to suffer. I told you I'll go to Japan. I've been there. Now, man, I'm driving. Me, I'm not born to suffer. If you were born to suffer. Now, this is a man, and interesting enough, he also applied for the visa, and they gave it to him. So reaching Entebbe, I don't know what happened to him. You know, these tubes were not yet there. So when you are boarding the plane, you go down
you walk, then you climb the stairs.
So when he reached the stairs, he started banging the aeroplane. I told you, one day I'll come next to you. I told, one day nja kulinya, nakugamba lumu nja kulinya nyonyi gwe. So security people say, no, what's wrong with this man? Started boxing the aeroplane. They caught him and took him back. What's wrong with him? But after 2 days, he went.
But he missed his flight.
He missed the flight. So those are the people we were with.
Where is this man?
He's still in Japan. He's still in Japan, but I've been telling him, you know, even when I meet him, you know, if you go to Japan, I have a station, a bus station. It was named after me. Because when we were in Japan, as when we go there, those cities look familiar.
Yes.
This place looks
Nagoya.
Even if yes, they look familiar, even if you're in Nagoya. But you are from this side, the other side looks familiar than.
Yes.
They look. Yes. So I just help these people. Now let's do like this. Let's differentiate these places by bus stations. So that's why they bring in that back station of Baker. You know, we used to meet at that bus station.
Bus station.
So it was named after me. Oh, bus station of Baker.
Baker, let's go back. Why didn't you study mechanical engineering?
So,
since you're already in that line of things.
I did my...
So you passed PCM?
PCM. Economics, I got an A. Physics, I got a B. Mathematics, I got an A. Then chemistry, I got a C. Now, coming back, I filled the forms poorly.
Job forms?
Yes. Because towards third term, I was not concentrating. All my minds were outside.
The money. Money does that to you.
Yes. I was, you know, now by that time, I had these things I brought had reached. I was constructing a certain house. So all my mind is on the house, is on business, asking for pass outs after 2 weeks to go and see my things. Now I asked myself, but am I going to pass? I may not pass. But me, I know myself. I knew I could not fail mathematics. So I asked myself, what is the course? Which course has only essential is mathematics? It was BSTAT. So that's what I put as first choice. Because that one I automatically knew I have to have an A in mathematics. Because I know mathematics from my head, not from reading. That one people knew, even the teachers know me. And lucky enough, the teacher who teaches even my daughter is the same teacher that told me.
So hold on, Baker. At this point in your life, are you still in school because you're excelling, or you have noticed that it's important to go to school?
Now I was having a problem. My brother was telling me, no, stop from what you are looking for. You have everything.
Exactly.
But I had a sister who said, no. You just use the papers. You just have the papers for formality.
Okay. I have my answer. Baker, how did you end up in politics? My listeners, I didn't tell you Baker is a former politician. He's a former MP as well.
Now, after establishing business, well established in business, I first bought land in Hoima Road, around Busunju.
Yes.
Then I moved to Zirobwe. And you know me, I associate with people. When I'm in a certain town, there are some things I tell them and they want to hear them.
Yes.
You know, some people tell people things which they don't want to hear.
Yeah.
But me, I just look on the audience and I ask myself, what do they want to hear? And that's what I give them. We made our charity with my brother. After that, and that charity helped them a lot.
In Zirobwe.
In Zirobwe. That's how they told me, please, go and stand for the MP seat. So I went, I stood and excelled. But I told them I'm going for
1 term.
1 term.
Why did you go back for the second term, Baker?
All my things, I used to have a garage.
You
All
lost
my things were
everything.
messed up.
You were messed up. You're busy in politics.
Yes.
Business was going down.
Yes, and I didn't see the money. They are giving all the money you're giving to supporters. All the money they give you just passes through you and give to supporters. So I told them, I'm not coming back.
Baker, how did you end up in this rallying sport?
Now, that was money. Because now being established in business,
And you're a young man.
and money was coming. And by that time when I entered the rally, China, I had shifted to China.
Yeah.
And money. We had people who used to have money. 10,000, 100,000 US dollars, 500,000 was not a problem.
Becca, you told me your first story. The first time you went to China to look for spare parts.
Yes.
What happened?
Now, when I went, I failed to see the things.
Becca, someone will argue, how do you get on the plane, go to China, and fail to see the things?
Oh, one, there was a problem of language barrier.
Yeah.
And China is very big, and those people, they are big-headed. They don't even want to listen. When you tell them something they don't understand, they will only say Timputo. Timputo means I don't understand. Leave me.
Yeah.
Timputo, Timputo, Timputo. Go, go, go. So you are asking them spare parts. So what I saw was DVDs and
DVD
phones.
players.
And phones. That's what I brought. And they got good money out of it. But I said, no, I didn't go to buy video games. Sorry, DVD players and phones.
Went for
Let me go back. When I'll bring again video CD players and phones.
Did you go back?
Yes, I went back.
Uh-huh.
But lucky enough, I found the spare parts. I was sitting in a taxi, and it's the taxi man who helped me. So I tried to explain to him. But even with language barrier, but showing him that this. So after you are looking for this, maybe then he took me there. Then I started seeing spare parts shops, but very big like Kampala. As you are seeing Kampala City, it's a very big market.
But Baker, how would you advise someone who is traveling to a foreign place where they don't speak English as their primary language? How would you advise them to go about?
Because I've experienced that in two times.
Yes.
First in Japan and second in China. One, I think, but these things we have technology. Technology is going to help those people. Because now there is translation but for our time there was no translation.
There is Google Maps now.
Google Maps,
yes.
But you act like a deaf person. You just use signs. You want to eat, you do like this. Because they will not understand. But it helped me. I end up learning those languages.
Becca, you mentioned eating, and I you have so many stories. I can't even give you some of my stories. But Becca, you lived in Japan for many months and went there many times. You've been to China many times. What are the culture shock? What are the things that shocked you in Japan and in China?
Now, I'm telling you, one of the things that I'll tell you, they have so many cultures. One of the culture they don't shave themselves. Yeah. People who have been there, they don't shave their armpits. They don't shave everywhere. Till you die, that is an abomination. So you look at that thing being so awkward.
I had never heard of that.
Oh my dear. They don't shave.
Where, in Japan, in China?
Both. Beards, it's okay. But armpits and other parts,
nothing.
Don't shave. So that culture shocks you.
Becca, how did you find out?
Did
you meet someone and you found out in
Let me tell you, that we used to go to saunas. Saunas, those sides.
Oh gosh, Becca, you're so scandalous. I can't deal with you.
Saunas. For their saunas, you have to undress yourself. because they separate men
And
and
women.
women. So you were totally naked.
So you were in shock.
Yes, and I asked them, you people, why don't you shave? Hey, they said, no, it's an abomination here. And let me give you a story. We were in China, and then there used to be a Chinese man. They were in a relationship with a black woman from Uganda. But this is a woman who said, what happened to them? These people, they don't shave themselves. So he went and bought, is it called that? It's like cream. How is it called? Vimto?
Yes.
Yes.
Vito for shaving.
Yeah, for shaving.
Yes.
So he smeared it on this man, and this man was married. He smeared it in the armpits, everywhere. And when this man was bathing,
All the hair went.
yes. So he was touching the hair to put it back, but it could not. In the sink, touching the hair to put it back on the skin. Then he was like, what am I going to tell my wife? Because he was married. She's going to ask me what happened. So that is the story.
Oh my God, Baker.
And their eating habits. For them, they eat everything.
No, when I went to China, I was moving around with an interpreter, and she told me, young girl from one of the schools, she told me, in China, we eat everything apart from table, anything with 4 legs apart from table and chair.
And you know why and they have their belief. They have their small beliefs saying that if you don't eat, I was asking, why do you eat everything? See, now, like cockroaches, you people, if you don't eat them, at one more time there will be so many and they will start eating you. They have that belief. If you don't eat rats,
Sure. Tell me about your life in Parliament.
It used to be, wow. We used to disorganize and organize the parliament.
Which party were you, or was that the time of? You were independent?
Independent candidate.
Baker, what shocked you most your first day of Parliament? What was it like? Okay, there is a day you go with your wife and family, you swear
Yes,
in.
yes.
Then the first day of Parliament.
Reaching there, that English. Serious, being serious. This one is arguing. So I was like Katoro Wama. You have to first sit down and analyze
the whole situation.
Analyze, and then you start confusing them.
Becca, did you ever speak in Parliament?
Yes,
Get up and
yes. I could, but I like not showing people that I know a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I don't know a lot of English. That's what I've been telling them. Yes. But you're a man, you're educated. Why do you keep on saying like that? But we used to disorganize Muhammad in Seleko. And that one we have been together for so many years.
So long.
Up to date. We have been together and used to help me here and there. Because for him, he was there before. So he could tell me, do this. And even making friendships. I had so many friends. Even when I told them that I was not coming back, they said, no, maybe it is money. Let's give you some money and you can pay and come back. I told them no.
But Baker, you sound like a normal, reasonable human being.
Yes, I'm a normal.
How do you... Now I'm going back to rallying because we didn't talk about it much. That speed that you drive, are you normal in that car?
Very normal. But what you have to do, it's a competition. It's like any other competition. You win. For us, I was telling you, win or die. For us, that was me.
So those corners, when you're taking them at 120, 140, do you entirely depend on what your navigator tells you?
Now, yes. What your navigator tells you and your skill. Your skill.
So you can take a corner without seeing it, but just because the navigator has said turn left 60 or something like that.
But you have to see it. Because even the navigator, he's not seeing where you're going. Those cars are made, for him is down.
But he's reading.
Yes. But you have to make sure. In a rally car, you have to use all your senses. the ear, as you are hearing here, you hear. So when you hear, you interpret with the brain. The brain is working. You use your eyes. Then the mouth. When he tells you something, you don't see it. You ask him. Because he may tell you a corner. Maybe he has misread something. You are not seeing it. But most times what he says, you see it. Keep left, put it left. Keep center. Because sometimes you are direct and seeing that this is the right path. I have to pass in center. I have to pass towards the left. So you just tell you, keep leftish, keep rightish, keep center. There is a double caution jump. And the notes will just, they have to go in hand with the speed.
Baker, I want to drive that car one day.
It's okay. You come. But you have to have some small experience. You come. But it is a very good sport. But the only problem with it is very expensive. Very expensive. And I wouldn't advise someone to go into that. Let's leave it to these people like Moyle. Moyle has a lot of money. Now you see, every time we are fundraising for some drivers.
Baker, how did it feel to win the National Rally Championship? How many races were in the league, so to say?
7.
7 races.
Yes. 7.
Did you win all of them?
Like 2.
You won like 2?
Yes.
But you came in top positions in most of them?
No, it's like football.
Yes. You don't have to win all the games.
You don't have to win. And in rallying, if you risk to win all of them, you may even end up not even finishing a certain rally. So some rallies you have
finishing
to
the whole calendar, all the 8 races.
Yes, because if the car breaks down when you are remaining with 2 sections, you are considered that you have not driven. You don't get a
the whole season, yes.
For
the race, for the rally, yes.
So some of them you risk and win. Others say, no, this one, let me take it easy. Let me at least be number 2 or number 3. Like that, it is just calculating.
And save the car.
And yes,
I'll not push it.
Yeah, because if you push it too hard, you when you go in the service, so many things are down. Brakes, what, and you don't have that time. So some sections you push, other sections you relax. Some sections you push. So you ask yourself, is this section best for? Is it as compared to my experience? Is it good for me? Yes, it is good. That one you push.
The experience and also how your car can handle.
Yes, how your car can handle. So after you push, you calculate. You push, you calculate. You end up maybe number 2 position. Number 2 position is okay.
Baker, do you plan to write a book?
So many people are telling me that you have so many big stories. But I think after like 2 years, I write a book, but I don't know why it will be of how many pages. Because I have a very big story of my life. And since this is Kampala, is it called Kampala? Capital City? What is KCC? It used to be KCC.
Kampala Capital City Authority.
Yeah, and it used to be
KCC. Kampala City Council.
Do you know why it was changed to KCC?
No.
You said it is Kampala?
Capital City Authority.
And people forget that word capital. They call it Kampala City Capital. Capital. To be in the city, you have to be with what?
Money.
With
you
money.
have to have
That's
capital
why
to be in the capital.
That's why they put Kampala capital. You have to be with capital. So you have to be very, very vigilant that you have that capital. We have been with the people in Kampala. They have this small money and you find them splashing money. There was even a competition. I found boys. They had got a lot of money, like 500 million. And we were in matching. So they had bought beer and they wanted to pour beer so that it could go up to that is Chibuye. In
the round.
Yes, they are getting beer crates. They open and pour on the road. So they wanted to go up to that roundabout of Chibuye. So that is wasting. Now, if I go in my phone to recall those people, all of them are in the village. Because they forget to be in the village. In the city, you have to be the capital.
Baker, I think what we shall do, you and I will come back here,
Yeah.
and for every episode of
Yes.
we just focus on a segment of your life.
That is, I think that will work.
We break it down properly,
Because if it is my childhood, we start with that.
and we just talk about that for a
that
whole
one.
hour.
Then if you go to Japan, we just talk about Japan.
We just talk about Japan.
If you go to China, in parliament, in motorsport, and in everywhere I am, I can write a book. I think we shall make like 9 episodes.
We'll make like 9 episodes. Our viewers and listeners, clearly we definitely overshot our time by many minutes, but this has been Baker Kaddu, a man of many stories. I have known him for like a year now. He has not even scratched the surface of his life story. Baker, thank you very much for visiting us here at Studio 84.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, we'll catch you again, our viewers and listeners, on the next episode of Off the Record. Thank you.